Hi guys! So do you want to know what all the fuss is about? Friday 5 lives? Well then you should come join me Friday at 5 p.m. that's West Coast time. Every single Friday we do painting together and it's really fun. Here's one of the beautiful paintings I made last week. Live painting events are different than edited videos, but we do all kinds of fun stuff, like we did a golden giveaway. Gave away all golden products. That was awesome. And it's more in-depth, so you get to really hear thought processes and see paint being mixed sometimes. This is a pretty dip I did. And also give feedback and input on what happens, which I think is really fun. So you should come and join me. You get to chat with other people, ask questions, and get live answers in real time. So it is a fun way to do just something social on a Friday night if you don't want to get out right now. Here's a really pretty one we did last week. Cover your pour, and then I added all those pretty tropical flowers. That one is still available if you're interested. It's in my Amazon shop. And if you don't see it there, you can always contact me. That's Friday 5 Pacific time. So remember this bottle bottom pour? I did this a while back and I have a whole video on it. And I used my fork in this one to make some pretty patterns. But I just wanted to add something to it, so I asked my viewers for advice. I think I asked on Facebook and I got a lot of interesting answers, and I also asked on YouTube. So if you don't follow me on Facebook, you should. Sometimes there's a lot of interesting little questions there on Heather Made Her Art on Facebook. But I love the way this one looked, and it just, to me, at the very end, wasn't quite complete. So it was very fun to do, though. This was like a reverse dip, basically. If you want to see the whole video and the whole tutorial, you can find that probably just a few months back on my channel. And this is a really fun painting to do, but like I said, even dried, I just still wanted something else. That's the dried version right there. It's like it just needed more. So I put it away for a while, and then I decided one day I'm just gonna go for it. And I did. So here's the Amsterdam acrylic ink, burnt umber, burnt sienna, and a straw or an airbrush. Now I have the gold up there, but I decided not to use it. And first of all, look at that straw. Is that a super long straw? I thought, you know how you blow and then sometimes you get a chest or your hair in the paint or whatever? I thought this would be a good plan, but as you can see, I blew one time on that straw. I was so lightheaded because I guess the tube is so long that it takes so much force or effort to blow through that really long tube. I don't know, I was out of breath. Maybe you can try it, but so I switched to my airbrush, which never lets me down, honestly. And at first the ink was a little hard to control and I was nervous. You know, it's taking a risk to take a dark color and put it over the top of these beautiful flowers, but the bottom line is that the painting as it was not making me happy, and I felt it was unfinished. So I just had to take a leap of faith here, and I started with the dark color first, and that was the burnt umber. I started first. And you can see I was getting more control as time went on with my airbrush. So the first beginning lines were a little crazy, but as time went on, I began to figure out kind of how to direct my hand and the airflow to make it do what I wanted it to do. And then I went back in with the burnt sienna or burnt umber, oh my gosh, the lighter one. And it was so warm and beautiful, and I love this color. Actually, let me look right here and see. It's the burnt sienna. I just love that from Amsterdam, and it's their acrylic ink line. I'll leave a link to this in my description box for everything that you see here for this video. And I just love the warmness of that color. In fact, my mind is already playing with ideas for what to do in the future with this beautiful burnt sienna color. I'm just totally in love with it. It has kind of like a red undertone, the way you see in the mountains, you know, like red mountains. So now I decided to add some more details to the flower. Now this is just pearl alcohol ink. It's not mixed with anything. And you can see it's a very translucent, transparent layer over the top of this flower. Again, this is a risk, you know, I'm not sure if it's going to turn out, but I decided to add a little bit, another layer, and I used the snowcap white. And again, this is not mixed with anything. But the two layers together over the top of the ink, over the top of the poured flower, just started creating a lot of amazing depth and textures. And once I layered the snow cap on top of the pearl, then I started getting happy. And I just repeated this pearl, then the snow cap on all the flowers. And I did add a little bit of pitch black ink in the center, but it didn't seem to make that much difference in terms of color or anything. Since I wasn't using a lot of actual straight alcohol, I really wasn't getting many effects. But so I moved on to the third flower and repeated that pattern again. At this point, I'm starting to get pretty excited about this painting, and things are starting to really come together for me. And there's parts that are a little messy and parts that aren't quite finished. You know, the paintings go through kind of like an ugly duckling stage, and I feel like this one went through that stage for sure. But now I thought I'm going to go back and create some depth with the addition of the blue alcohol ink. Because see how those flowers, they look like they're just kind of sitting on top the white of the part of the blue. So I took blue alcohol ink and just started adding some depth and shaping the flowers with a little brush. This took forever. I will not lie. I cut out hours of this process. So if you want to know, a fine detail brush that I recommend is by Daco. And these art brushes are for acrylic and oil paints. I love these brushes. Now, I since found these brushes after this painting, but they come in this beautiful case, a drawstring pouch, and like fake satin or something, but they are so beautiful. They're probably for fine detail work of any kind, if you work on miniatures or something like that. But I love these brushes for doing little alcohol ink and acrylic details. And that's DAC. I'll have a link again in my description box. And they're not paying me to say this or anything. I just really like the brushes. And one of the reasons was, look at the flat edge. See that? It's very easy to hold. So for someone like me that has a little bit of arthritis, it just makes it easier to grip and hold on to that brush for me. So I really enjoyed working with those, and I did so in one of the commissions that I'm working on right now. I want to take a quick second and say thank you to my patrons. Those of you who have been supporting me, it means so much to me, and I appreciate each and every one of you that does. You can also support this channel in a lot of different ways. You can shop in my Amazon shop at no extra cost to you. You can leave a tip in the tip jar, which I deeply appreciate right now. And small donations help, $5, $10, $20. And you can also shop for any painting that you see at heathermaderart.com or prints. And of course, buying from your favorite artist helps support the arts, and you can be a patron of the arts too by supporting your favorite artist, whoever that may be. And we all deeply appreciate your support. So thank you so much for all that you do. A lot of you, when you come to my lives at 5, support me with the super chat stickers, and those are really fun. And I don't know, I have a lot of deep gratitude for the support I get, and I appreciate all of you. So I continued on with this journey. These flowers were definitely a journey, and I just couldn't show you all of the little detail work because it took forever, and on camera it just didn't look like there was much to see. But I finally went back in and added some depth to the branches after working on the flowers for a long time. I just wanted to flesh them out a little bit, and I just used the burnt umber to add a little darkness in there where shadows might be, to make it look more, a little bit realistic. Of course, this is an abstract branch, so it's not going to look incredibly realistic, but just adding shadows where shadows might be. I also wanted to see some of these places where the flowers actually overtook the branch. I wanted to add the branches back in, so it would look like, you know, the branch was in front of the flower or behind the flower appropriately wherever I thought. And I just added a few here and there. I kind of played on the lines that were already there. I didn't create too many brand new lines, but you can see kind of where some of those would have been if the flower was behind the branch. So that's what I did there. And I just kept going. This is one of those you just keep going and going and going, but honestly, I'm so pleased with the outcome of this painting. This is honestly one of the I'm most proud of this painting. I guess all the work that was involved. Look at how pretty it turned out. This is an 18 by 24 painting, so it's pretty big. And it has just like the warm depth of the branches and the cool flowers. I did the centers just the same way. Of course, my camera ran out of juice to record it all, but I just added the little centers to the flowers just to give them that final look of completion. Look how pretty everything turned out, you guys. I'm just so happy I took a chance, because I really just had this painting sitting over in a pile and was not very happy with it, and now I'm just so proud. And that's what I encourage all of you to do, to take a leap of faith sometimes. Just see if you can make something beautiful. So last thing is to see you Friday at 5 West Coast time, and we can have some fun together. Until then, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.